morning. Good morning, Carrie. Welcome. Happy
That was
Sunday.
awesome.
It is
Ready, one.
Thank you for coming inside
Take
on
one.
this beautiful day. It
Let's
is
go ahead and
so
show her
nice
name.
outside, which maybe is not helping the fact that you're sitting here. But you're here, and we get to be together, and I'm so grateful. It's going to be a good morning. Happy Memorial Day. Also, as we are well aware, this is a holiday weekend.
Here
I hope
out.
that it's been
And Terry,
restful.
you're welcome to take some shots here for a little bit.
Just full of maybe some good memories, some good relaxation. I think this is a really important weekend. I know that it can get lost, the meaning of what we're celebrating and what we're
Ready, 6 online.
Can get lost in the
Take
midst
6.
of,
1 and 6 are live.
taking time off and thinking of all the plans and all the fun things that we get to do. But I think it's worth remembering the sacrifice of those who have made this available for us, in addition to so many other privileges that we have. And
Ready, 3 online.
I am only new to
Take 3.
North Carolina in the last
1 and 3 are live.
5.5 years. And so I will say part of my education has been being around so many veterans and active duty members and just families.
Andrew, I like what we're seeing in the room from your shot. I don't love that we're seeing Laura Lynn mostly from behind, though.
For those who serve, that
Maybe come out into the room more so we can see her face more.
And it is also a sacrifice for their
Back on
families
clean feed.
who send them and who move around and who constantly start over.
That's a little better.
Who are supporting the ones
Push
who
her
are serving. And
toward
so,
the middle a little
if
more,
that's
so she's
you,
like
if
on
that's someone in your family,
the third line
we
instead
say
of right
thank
up
you,
against
we
the edge of the
honor you,
frame. Yeah,
and
there
we're
you
so
go.
grateful, for your many, many sacrifices that give us so many freedoms. So
Ready, 5 online.
celebrate
Take
that
5.
and also recognize that one of those
1 and
freedoms
5
is the fact
are
that
live.
we get to worship openly and freely this morning, and so that's why we're here. So grateful that you joined us.
Come back to clean feed. 1's live everywhere.
As we begin that this morning, folks are still coming in, and that's great. So we have plenty of seats. Come on
Terry,
in.
if you can tell when she's
But
wrapping up, you
before we
probably
jump
want to
into worship, I
be
think
on one of the
it's,
mobile cameras as she
valuable
ends so
to
you
get
can
to know the
cut to
people that we are
Chris without
worshiping
my dissolve
with.
hindering you.
And so
Okay.
we are going to take some time to just stand up. I know this
I'm
is
going to
a
use
purposeful day.
Addie.
Some people's
Okay.
Ready,
needs
6.
not
Take
be
And
6.
I'm going to go to 3 in the
but
room
my hope
when we
is that
transition.
we have the courage this morning to greet someone who's near us. Maybe ask if they are a member of the military.
Okay,
or
Chris,
have
I've got
family
you in
member
preview.
military, and we can honor them in that way. But why don't you go ahead and stand
Ready,
up,
3.
Greet some people around you, ask
Ready,
what their
4.
plans are for the weekend, and then we'll get ready to worship.
Dissolve 3.
Take 4.
Go for meet and greet.
4 is live.
3 and 4 both.
And I almost missed you.
Oh no.
Where's her light?
Matt, where's her light?
This morning, I'm
Matt.
sure that you're tuning in from all over the place, and we are so grateful. Grateful that you're with us, even through the camera. But as
All right,
we're
ready,
welcoming each other here,
ready,
this
5.
morning, we would love for
You got
to
room
do
to
the same
open your
thing.
aperture up, Andrew?
Join with us. Maybe you can connect with us
Thank you.
online,
Ready,
at
5.
parkcity.church/online.
Dissolve 5.
Oh my.
You can text a friend, or maybe if someone
What
is
happened with
sitting
the
there
light?
with you,
She stepped out of it
Oh.
when she did her side step. She like walked away from it.
I see.
start this morning by connecting.
Matt shot something else over there.
Grab
Ready,
your
6.
Bible and a journal and a pen,
Dissolve 6.
and join us. We are going to start worship in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us.
All right, 4, you're
4's
clear. Thank you.
Ready, 3.
That was great.
Dissolve 3.
Yeah, we sent that out live too.
And you! I almost missed you. Ready, 5. Dissolve 5.
I'm glad it was Laura Lynn though.
Yeah. Ready, 6. Dissolve 6. Ready, 3. Dissolve 3. And Jarrett, I'm going to ride this out through the transition. Just hang in there.
All right, we go for Josh and Taya. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Hey, good morning, church.
Ready, 1.
How are we this morning? It's so good to be in the house
Dissolve
of the Lord
1.
this morning. Before we get started in worship, I just wanted to take a second just to encourage you in the room. I don't know what season you might find yourself in this morning or what challenges you may be facing, what dynamics you might be in. But I just want to encourage you that says in the Word that we serve a God that is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And no matter what circumstance we might
We were on
find ourselves
-3, and no, you can leave it there. I was gonna say we were on -3, and it looked fine.
His heart for us never changes, and we're going to worship and sing about that this morning. So sing with us.
Ready 4. Dissolve 4.
You want me to sing this
Ready
together?
6.
God of Abraham,
Dissolve 6.
the God of covenant, and faithful promises.
Ready 3.
Time and time
Dissolve 3.
you have proven
Ready 1.
what you said is true.
Dissolve 1.
The storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast.
Andrew, once they kick in, we're gonna need a good bit of Brooks on this song.
You speak a word, it will come.
Ready 4. Oh wait. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't do that. Ready 6. Dissolve 6. Ready 2. Dissolve 2. Ready 3. Dissolve 3. All right, Andrew, I think they're gonna hit an instrumental here and the band will kick in. Ready 4. We're gonna take now. Take 4. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 1. Take 1.
God from age to age, though the earth may pass away, your word remains the same.
Ready 4. Take 4. Katie, will you come in a little bit tighter on Tam? Ready 6. Take 6. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 2. Take 2. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 3. Take 3. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 6. Take 6. Ready 2. Take 2. Nice, Addie. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 3. Take 3. Drop here. Ready 4. Dissolve 4. Ready 5. Dissolve 5. Ready 2. Dissolve 2. Ready 6. Dissolve 6. Ready 4. Dissolve 4. Ready 3. Dissolve 3. We're gonna take now. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 2. Take 2. Ready 6. Take 6. Ready 3. Take 3. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 2. Take 2. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 6. Take 6. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 3. Take 3. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 2. Take 2. Ready 4. Take 4. Sorry, Chris. Ready 3. Take 3. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 6. Take 6. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 2. Take 2. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 3. Take 3. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 6. Take 6. Ready 5. take 5, ready 2, take 2, ready 4, take 4, ready 3, take 3, ready 1, take 1, ready 6, take 6, ready 2, take 2, ready 4, take 4, ready 1, take 1, ready 3, take 3, ready 5, take 5, ready 6, take 6, ready 1, take 1, ready 3,
Stand by for Kaylee.
dissolve 3. Did you say Kaylee? Thanks,
Stand by
Dave.
for Kaylee.
Thank you, Dave.
This is the split lead song.
And yes, 5 and 6, you both will get a bit of guitar on this one. Ready 5, dissolve 5. Good job, y'all. That first song looked really good. Y'all are finding good shots. Ready 4, dissolve 4. Ready 1, dissolve 1. Ready 5, dissolve 5. Ready 6, dissolve 6. Ready 4, dissolve 4. Ready 3, dissolve 3. Ready 6, dissolve 6. Ready 1, dissolve 1. Ready 3, dissolve 3. Ready 5, dissolve 5. Ready 4, dissolve 4. Ready 3, dissolve 3. We're gonna start taking. Ready 1, take 1. Ready 6, take 6. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 5, take 5. Ready 3, take 3. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 5, take 5. Ready 1, take 1. Ready 6, take 6. Ready 1, take 1. Ready 3, take 3. Andrew, go ahead and include Kaylee in the shot. Ready 5, and Brooks, if you will. Ready 5, take 5. Thank you, sir. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 6, take 6. Ready 2, take 2. Ready 3, take 3. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 5, ready 1, take 1. Ready 5, take 5. Ready 3, take 3. Ready 2, take 2. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 1, take 1. Ready 3, take 3. Ready 6, take 6. Ready 2, take 2. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 3, take 3. Ready 5, take 5. Ready 1, take 1. Ready 6, take 6. Andrew, grab Kaylee. Ready 2, take 2. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 5, take 5. Ready 3, take 3. All right, Andrew, you can go back to Brooks. Ready 1, take 1. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 5, take 5. Ready 6, take 6. Ready 2, take 2. Ready 3, take 3. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 6, take 6. Ready 5, dissolve 5. Thanks for the rack focus, Addy. That was nice. Ready 1, dissolve 1. Man, Chris getting around today. Ready 3, dissolve 3. Go ahead and start on the keys there, Chris. Ready 1. Ready 5. Dissolve 5. Ready 4. Dissolve 4. Sorry, my headset popped. Ready 6. Dissolve 6. Thank you, Jarrett. I was just going to ask for you to pull out a little bit. Ready 3. Dissolve 3.
We just say thank you, Jesus, for your goodness. We say thank you, Jesus, for the way that you see us. God, that
Ready
you made
1.
us whole. You made us complete.
Dissolve 1.
God, we say thank you. We thank you for your love this morning. Never, never ending love.
Ready 5.
Never, never ending love.
I gotta put something in between those two shots. Hang on, Andrew. Hold that. Ready 4. Dissolve 4. Ready 5. Dissolve 5.
What can wash away my sin? Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
Ready 3.
What can make me
Dissolve 3.
whole again? Nothing but the blood
Ready 1.
of Jesus.
Dave, will you reset that and keep Mike in the shot? Ready 1. Dissolve 1.
Oh, I'm still thankful for the truth. And what
Ready 6. Tilt down just a little bit, Addy. Thank you. Ready 6. Dissolve 6. Ready 4. Dissolve 4. Yeah, Andrew, will you stay with Kaylee for this part? You've got one of the better shots of her other than straight on with camera 1. Ready 3. Dissolve 3. Ready 5. Dissolve 5. Alright, Jarrett, come out just a little bit for a transition shot. Actually, ready 6. I think I can use that one. Oh, darn, they put their hand down. That was cool. Ready
Stand by for
6.
Taya.
Dissolve 6. Thank you, Addy. Yeah, go ahead and keep going over a little bit. Bring Taya in. Oh, I meant slowly. That's okay. That's hard to do when you're zoomed in that tight.
the reign of darkness now has ended in the kingdom of light.
Ready 1.
In the kingdom of light.
Dissolve 1.
Forever under your dominion. You're the king of my
Ready
life.
4.
You're the king
Actually, let me do 3 first. Ready 3. Dissolve 3.
Oh, you reign above it all. You reign
Ready 4.
above it all.
Dissolve 4.
You're the universe and over every heart.
Andrew, grab guitar for me, and Addy, stay on vocals. Ready 6. Dissolve 6. I forgot they only do that chorus once that time. Ready, 5. We're gonna take now. Take 5. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 3. Take 3. Addie, you can just stay on vocals for now. Ready, 1. Take 1. Thanks for moving back to drums, Chris. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 6. Take 6. Ready, 4. Take 4. Ready, 2. Take 2. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 6. Take 6. Ready, 3. Dissolve 3. Ready, 1. Dissolve 1. Go ahead and keep the bass in there, Chris. Ready, 4. Dissolve 4. Yeah, I got you. Ready, 5. Dissolve 5. Thanks, Chris. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 6. Take 6. Ready, 4. Take 4. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 2. Take 2. Ready, 4. Take 4. Ready, 6. Take 6. I missed that hand again, Addie. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 4. Take 4. Ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 4. Take 4. Ready, 2. Take 2. Ready, 6. Take 6. Ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 4. Take 4. Ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 6. Take 6. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 4. Take 4. Ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 6. Take 6. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 4. Oh, I missed it. Ready, 3. Dissolve 3. Ready, 1. Dissolve 1. Ready, 6. Dissolve 6. Ready, 3. Dissolve 3. Ready, 1. Dissolve 1. Ready, 5. Dissolve
Bring
5.
it 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Ready, 1.
God, may we believe
Dissolve
that.
1.
May we trust that when we're looking for joy, when we are looking for salvation, when we are looking for hope, we look
Stand by
to
for
the
Laurel
cross.
Lynn.
We look to
Jarrett, come in
Jesus,
just inside the
because it
screens
is
if you
through
would.
Jesus that we see your
Here we go.
face.
Ready, 3.
God, you are mighty.
Dissolve
You are
3.
wonderful. Your works are wonderful. You work beyond what we can imagine. May
Ready,
we see
5.
that and trust that. And may we, as we
Dissolve
remember
5.
the words and the truth that you sent the darkness running out of an empty grave, that brings forth joy, because we know that we serve a victor who one day we get to be with, free of worry and
Ready,
shame
1.
and doubt,
Dissolve
fully
1.
encompassed by your glory. So God, continue to search our hearts. Find any way in us that rejects that truth. And may we remain open to your love.
Jarrett, stay inside
open
the
to your
screens for the
cleansing
transition.
blood
Thank you,
that
sir.
makes us new every single day. Lead us in the way of the everlasting as we learn more about your heart and we
Y'all did an
walk
awesome job.
this life together.
All the bouncing back and forth between different things, giving that variety
Continue to sing with
at
our
just the
lives
right
with our
times,
hearts.
changing to the
Speak with
guitars
our
and
mouths
stuff.
that you reign above
Shots
it
all looked really good.
Thank you
Leland's saying they're not getting cues.
for the opportunity to praise you and to be in your presence.
We haven't reached a queue yet. Terry, did you put in any cues for run through?
Yeah.
Oh.
Amen.
Is that
Thanks for
shared
watching.
box checked? Ready 3? Dissolve
Yep.
3?
All right, I'm good for Laureline.
Yeah, did a run through bump message and mic praise.
Okay.
You've heard us talk about love thy neighbor.
Ready 1. Actually,
And
will
if
you bump it
have
down
not
to
been
6 real
around,
quick?
Love thy neighbor is our focus as a church this month.
Ready
as
1.
we, talk
Dissolve
about
1.
loving our neighbors, figuring out who our neighbors
All right,
are.
Terry. Oh,
And
show her
really,
name.
Thinking,
Let's show her
you know,
name
Mike
again.
is in a series right now,
And then,
called Tag Your
Terry,
Identity,
you're welcome to
looking
take
at
some
our
shots.
mission statement of
Okay,
reaching
thank you.
people and helping them walk with God. And we reach people by expanding what we're willing to care about. And so Love Thy Neighbor has been...
Oh,
a way
Terry,
for
are you
us
on the
as a
campus
church
stream or are you on the
to do
Port City
several
Online?
things, but, one,
Oh, Port City
to,
Online.
to
Oh, you
practically gather
change over to the
supplies
campus stream.
for our partner Vigilant Hope,
That's the one Leland's
downtown.
taking.
But we're doing that
Port City Online
with
is
our
the live stream
communities,
to YouTube.
and we're practicing
They're getting
cultivating
different
community
cuts.
within the circles where we are already moving. So whether it's at work or at school or in your neighborhood, we're working to...
Do I need to redo those?
to put into
No, just
practice
add the new
how we
ones
cultivate
for this service.
a
Okay.
community, because it's even in those relationships
Oh yeah, so the online stream comes up before the campus one shows up.
the love and the light of Christ.
Okay.
And then together,
There's 2 different
we do all this
encoders, so one was
together.
probably just a
We
little
are
quicker getting started
expanding
than the other.
our love for
That's
our
the one I
community.
grabbed.
We're expanding our reach. We're expanding the way that we, our influence, the way that we can share the love of Christ throughout Wilmington. If you would like to be a part of this, it is not too late. We have our mobilization team, Corey and Jenna, and Javi are out in the rotunda, and after the gathering, you can talk with them. On Saturday,
You are
already,
clear. Oh yeah, we can show the
21st,
link.
this next Saturday is our collection day. So if you've been gathering supplies, we're going to be taking those down to Vigilant Hope on Saturday, but we'd love for you to join us. It's not too late, so you can find out more about that after the gathering. But we're just really grateful for this opportunity to come together and, to do this together, but in the pockets of the community where we're already working and living. So we'd love to have you join us.
Can we get 2 prepped?
Oh yeah, 2. Katie, will you grab that autofocus shot for us?
Time to give, and this too is worship. So if you would take a few moments to just sit with the Lord and
Push in
you can
just a
offer
little
back
more.
some of what He's given to you.
Oh, you
We
got
have
it.
some
That's
ways
good
for
right
you to
there.
do that
Ready,
on the
2?
screen. And then just sit and prepare your heart as we continue to worship through teaching and learning this morning.
Dissolve 2.
And go to giving.
Roll the giving. Thanks for bringing in the keyer. Black and preview. And
Go to
dissolve to
bump.
black. And roll the bump.
Stand by for Mike.
Stand by 3. Let's see what it looks like, what he's wearing and what it looks like.
All right. We go to mic on 5,
Wonderful.
4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Dissolve 3.
Good morning.
It's not too bad.
So good to be together today on holiday
Ready, 1.
weekend. We're obviously
Take 1.
lots of
Oh,
people
we're on 6,
travel,
aren't we?
lots of people coming to town, lots of people have
Put
plans,
camera 2 on
tomorrow.
3.
And,
Yeah, that one.
This is always one of
Let's
those
see how it looks.
kind of holiday weekends that
Let me see
sits
2 in preview here.
attention. We get to celebrate and enjoy a day off, sort of cooking out, enjoying family.
Yes, let's
hanging
show
out,
his
going to
name,
eat all the
thank you.
things that we get to do
I should have
around
went to
here.
camera 2 for that.
But at the
Yeah,
same
go
time,
ahead and show it.
recognizing the price
I should have
that
went to
was
2. I'll go to
paid,
2 next time.
in order for us to allow us to. There's a tension in this holiday that the
His
freedoms
shirt
that
is a
we
little bright.
enjoy,
Go ahead and put it
here
back on
come-
-6.
have come, at a price.
We'll stick
In
with
our
that.
Congregation, we have lots of families whose family members and people they know have paid those prices. A lot of military and such whose friends have made the ultimate sacrifices. We want to honor those of you whose family members and friends have given their lives, and to say thank you and to treasure that as a part of enjoying what it is that we get to do. Today, as we're talking about the mission of our church, I want to talk about this a little bit differently than perhaps what you're used to, because
Ready, 3.
a lot of us have, and this is part of the
Take 3.
challenge that I think we experience. I was just talking to some friends before the service this morning.
And ready, 2.
That we have so many assumptions and things
Take
that
2.
we do, and we do them instinctively and ways we think about things because they have worked, at least worked for us as maybe an individual, or worked for your tribe, or worked for your group, or kept us out of a lot of the difficulty that a lot of other people face. But I think the challenge is for us to really be able to think beyond some of these things and see things differently than what we're accustomed to. And so part of my hope, my aim is to kind of disrupt or to jolt
try
the way
something
we
here.
typically think, the way we're comfortable thinking, and push us into considering something differently, and perhaps today something more. And part of it's interesting because the way our people walk in our church now, it's so funny because we've been in the building here almost 15 years, I think over 15 years. And we remember back when we were in middle school and Rolling Rice, we were reminiscing about some things this week. And, we used to come into Rolling Rice Middle School. It's over in the center of town in Wilmington. And the auditorium sat about 720 people.
Yeah. I'm not going to
And
adjust
some of
to.
you were, like 8 of you were there in that day. And we would come in there, and our service started at 10 o'clock. But the thing is, you couldn't start the service until people showed up. Or it was kind
Hey,
of
Jared, can you pull
rules.
up?
So no one was there at 10 o'clock. So we'd be sitting out behind the curtain. Like, we had this big, grand entrance. The curtain would open up. The lights would come on.
I'm going to grab one of those,
12 people
a
in the
bigger
room.
wide shot while he's
We're
talking
sitting
about
way
this, and
around
get the
looking
room
at
in.
it. We're looking at
Yeah,
the
go
curtain
for
and
it.
trying to
Yep.
wait for this.
Ready, 3.
And a
take
lot of
3.
things have happened over the
2 and
years,
3 are live.
miraculous things. And obviously we have some great systems and great organizations. We have great people who do a lot.
Come back to clean
of things
feed.
to our church.
Thank you, Jared. You're clear. You can go back.
Day out. It was not always like this. And what a lot of people walk in today is you think that this is like some kind of grand plan that we had 25 years ago. And it was.
Addie, go ahead and stay tight if you would,
It
please.
was a desperate hope. Would we be around
You have to
the
check
next
your focus
week?
now.
It was always that sense of precariousness. We're always on the edge of going under or not being around or not.
Ready,
And
6.
so you had very few things that you could hold
Take
on
6.
to. And I remember one of the things that I held on to was the mission of our church. God, could you help?
That's a good shot. He really pops against that background.
Yeah, he does.
Walk with God. And it was always this thing that has driven me. And it began in the very early days, sitting in a coffee shop.
Katie, can you get just below his knee? I think you're really close, but maybe pull out just a touch more.
I wonder what their hopes are. I wonder
Yeah,
what
there
their
you
fears
go.
are. I wonder
Ready,
if
2.
they're hanging by a thread. I
Take
wonder
2.
if this has happened or that has happened. Could we be the kind of church that could extend ourselves to them and actually help them with what it is that they are feeling or sensing or wanting or longing for? And it was just always this sort of sense in the back of my, in the front of my brain, trying to understand or trying to consider how we would do that. And then as I look, and what you immediately think is that I've got to be a kind of person to help this kind of person, and what you realize is that's not how this actually works. That somehow what has happened to me over the last 25 years is that I have been immeasurably helped by this church, by my involvement in this church. I look and I think about the kind of person that I envisioned myself being, the kind of pastor that I envisioned myself being 25 years ago. I think I've told y'all this a bunch of times. But I honestly thought that by the time I was 35, we started the church, I was 29. When I was 35, that I would have all of my theological boxes organized, and I could just pull content out, like a Bible gunslinger. You pick the issue, and I
Doing great, Katie.
We'd all be like, yes, that's what we're, preach it, Mike. That's what I thought. I thought if you could just get the right information about the right issue, then you could solve the problem that human beings face. And being involved in the church, like walking with people and having people walk with me. You realize that things happen, and you realize that things don't often work the way that you planned or thought they would. And sometimes there's deep disappointment and deep pain and deep fear. And how you keep walking through those things, and more importantly, the people that are with you as you walk through those things. And I realized how immeasurably shaped me and my marriage and my family have been by being a part of this church. And I say that because receiving help is not something that we Western Americans like to think we need.
Take 6.
We're used to holding our own and doing our own thing. And so I want for us, as we sort of enter into this time, I don't want you to just think about what you need or what you don't need. I want to just back up and just say, God, would you help me to see something differently than what I immediately think in my head? The mission of our church is very simple.
Ready, 3.
It's to reach people and help them walk with God.
Take 3.
And this statement has been in journal entries, it's been in documents, it's been in places where I've written around it. Every single word in this, I remember wrestling through this with a group of us in the early days. Every single word matters in this. And we talked about reach last week, right? It's what we're willing to care about. And then this week I want to talk about help. I want to talk about help. That somehow when we think about help, we all have some idea of what this means or
Take 1.
what it doesn't mean. And we often think of help as, solving a problem. And I think it's more than that. I'm going to try to explain that. But this forces us. In fact, everything can't be solved and everything won't be fixed. And you know that. But we have to have a way of seeing, a vision, to understand how does this hold hope for us, regardless of the circumstances that we face or find ourselves in.
You read my mind.
And it just requires us to see differently. I remember this very well. And I'd been through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of passages when we were starting the church.
All right, Terry, I think you have a little time to take a shot or two again.
What I felt like God was saying the church is supposed to be. There was no,
if I can get that shot off 3 again, Jarrett.
There was no social
Andrew's
media.
giving you one too.
You couldn't just Google something and find out how do you start a church. You just had to kind of think about. We were in Wilmington, North Carolina, so we knew.
So I'm gonna go from ready 3. Take 3, and then I'm going to land on 5.
That was it. And I remember reading this passage, and it just kind of
5, take 5.
And
you're clear, Jarrett.
This is from Paul's prayer for a little church in Colossae. We looked at this in the book of Acts. And this is his opening prayer.
Ready, 5.
Heard about your faith.
Take 5.
Heard about God's work.
Yeah, Andrew, go ahead. I'm not Andrew. Jarrett.
For this reason
finish getting
also,
framed up.
Since the day that we have heard about it, we have not ceased to pray for you and to ask.
So, Andrew, we're kind of stuck here until I can get on a tighter shot and let you readjust.
With the knowledge of his will. To kind of know what it is that God intends and what he wants. In all spiritual wisdom and understanding, there would be sort of a reasoning and,
ready, 6.
And a quickening of
Take
this.
6.
You could actually begin to articulate, to
Jarrett, center up.
means that you,
ready, 3.
You know something. You're working towards this. It's not, of course it's mystery and of course it's spiritual, but as you grow, you begin to see and articulate things along the way.
Take 3.
In all spiritual wisdom and understanding. And here's why. So that, right? So that you may
Andrew, you're on
walk
4.0.
in a manner worthy
Why
of
it
the
looks
Lord.
just a touch dark.
And this was the key.
Ready,
That you
5.
may walk in a manner worthy of the Lord. And then he adds these 3 things. Number 1
Take 5.
is to please him in all respects. That God would smile on our life, on my life, in your life. That we would walk in a manner that would actually elicit God's pleasure towards us. And all of us have some picture of what that looks like. What would make God smile on your life? And more than likely, you think that if you behaved better, he would be more pleased with you. And that's how a lot of us script. That's not what it says. It's that we would trust him. What elicits God's smile is our faith in him, our willingness to believe him, our willingness to act in accordance with beliefs, imperfectly at times. But we have to get this picture, this idea in our head to please him in all respects. That we would bear fruit. Put some little apple trees on there.
Is that what that is?
Bear fruit in every good work and increasing.
He doesn't realize his drawing is getting into that orangey color, orangey pinky color.
That's what fruit is for.
Ready, 3.
Fruit is all.
Take 3.
When you see a fruit tree or something produce its fruit, there's usually a beauty. It's interesting how God created stuff. He could have made things so much more efficiently than he did. Like he could have just made stuff pop
Ready,
out
1.
of the ground and you can eat it instantly. Instead, you have to
Take 1.
wait for it, and then it comes. And when it does, you're like, that's really beautiful. And then it's nourishing. Like you can extract from it and benefit from it.
I think if you take
That's
the
the
top
picture
off,
of the bear
it makes it
fruit
look
that
more
our lives
level.
need to reflect. And the same thing, there's
So
a
you're trying,
beauty to how we
like-
live.
Yeah, I agree.
There's something about
And if
our
you
lives,
you
and
can
it's
push
not
in a
just that
little
you're
more
hot.
too,
I'm not
Jarrett.
talking
I was
about
going
that.
to
I hope you get
suggest,
that. I'm talking
when I
about
saw you starting to
what
do that, I thought I
exudes
like
from
that.
you
And
is
cut off the
something
top
that
of the board just a
contributes
little bit.
something beautiful to the world. And it's nourishing.
Now come in just a little
to others,
more.
and we increase in our understanding, our knowledge, God, of knowing him, the
There we
relational
go.
knowledge of him.
Ready, 3.
Strengthened
Take
with
3.
all power. And this is where it gets fun, right? We're strengthened with all power, according to his glorious might. Why? For the attaining of all steadfastness
Ready,
and
5.
patience. Why does God want to make
Take
you
5.
strong? What is the purpose of God's strength in your life and in mine? So you can get your way and make
Ready,
things
1.
happen, right? Nope. It's so you can learn how to be patient. God
Ready,
gives,
3.
in other words,
Take
the
3.
work that he's going to ask you to do is going to require patience, and it's going to require patience that requires his strength. People ask me all the time, says, Mike, do you ever want to, give up or quit? It's like only every Saturday. So I'm just like, I don't want to do this tomorrow, right? Joyously giving thanks to the Father who has qualified us to share in the inheritance. He has qualified us to share in the inheritance of the saints in light. And all this is going to sort of work together. Walk in a manner, bearing fruit, all these things. And in the very close of this, for he has rescued us from the domain of darkness, and he has transferred us into the kingdom. So these words are words of rule
Ready, 5.
and reign.
Take 5.
The kingdom of his beloved Son, in whom we have redemption. This is what's promised, the forgiveness of sins. So that's the whole thing. Now, this idea, and when we think about salvation here in our campus, Taya mentioned,
Ready, 2.
talked about salvation, that it
Take
elicits
2.
something out of us. When Paul would write about this, when the New Testament records this for us, the language is that this has to be worked out. Like your salvation, your understanding. This is how Paul would write about it in Philippians. To another, continue
Ready, 3.
to work out your
Take 3.
salvation with fear and trembling. Like to work it out. For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. And this isn't about you finding
Good job,
your sort
Jarrett.
of lot in life, the unique contribution. This
Ready,
is about
6.
us learning how to live underneath
Take
his
6.
rule and reign, to live life transferred from one realm
Follow
or one
Eddie.
rule into another, and to work that out. And this is not an individual, it's not for you to go and do by
Ready,
yourself
1.
and then to show back up when you get it figured out. It's for us to do together. That's the whole point of this. That's the
Take
whole
1.
point of this. That part of this,
I
and what
cannot
we
get this where I'm happy
assume
with it.
is that if I need help, then something is wrong. That's almost always the assumption. That everything should be able to handle, that you and I should be able to handle everything or anything that happens to us without needing anything from anybody else. That's sort of our default approach. This seems to be the way we think about things. But this is such a flawed assumption. Because first, it is not true. No one in here has done anything without help from somebody else.
Terry,
None of
does
you
it look too
came into
bright
this
in there?
world knowing how to walk or talk
On
or
camera
do
1.
anything else on your own, right?
Does he look too
It's
bright, you
interesting,
think?
I was watching documentaries on sharks. My granddaughter, she's shocked.
His shirt, yeah, it's kind of
And
speckly.
those shark documentaries are sharks
But he
eating
looks
things. She's like,
okay.
"Whoa, that's kinda
Yeah,
weird."
I'm trying to balance his
She's two,
skin
right?
tone
Almost
with that
two.
bright shirt.
And we found this one, it's baby
But
sharks.
I think
and they
the
talk
shirt
about when
is too
baby
bright.
sharks are born,
Yeah, it's like very
baby
satiny.
sharks,
Yeah.
when they're born, their parents don't take care of them. You're just on your own. And it's
Ready,
eat or
3.
be eaten. And,
Take 3.
We're not like that, right? We need help. You don't move, you don't get up, you don't get food, you don't do anything without help. And that we think it changes over time. So we all
Eddie, will you pan
benefit
to the right a little more?
from other people's
Thank you.
work,
Ready,
and
6.
actions and efforts and sacrifice
Take 6.
and help. And secondly, we're actually designed to need each other. We are actually designed this way. This is not a concession.
So,
to
Terry,
our
I guess
fallen
if you want to
nature,
have
it's actually the way that we
maybe
were
Andrew
designed
pull out wide
to
for a
live, to
shot.
cooperate and
Let's do
depend
one at a time
upon
here
each
just in
other.
case he jumps into something.
And
I
what
have a shot to go
happens
to.
us is a lot of us think that help is like
Okay.
a commodity. It's something that we get as needed. And this was interesting to me because when we were starting Port City, after probably, 10, 12 years, and I would meet people, and they would say
Ready,
things
1.
like this and say, "Hey, Mike, I used to go to Port City." I'm like, "Used to go? Like what? Used to go?" And I would say, "Well, tell me." They was, "Oh, we love Port City." I'm like, "Well, then why did you used to go to Port City?" Right?
Take
You're trying
1.
to not make this awkward for them. And they would say things like this: "Oh, we needed help in our marriage, and you guys helped us." Or I needed help in my finances, and you guys were really helpful. Or we needed help with this particular crisis or this particular circumstances. Or we had this loss, and you guys were so helpful to us. We love Port City. And I realized, we have made a big mistake. Because what people think is we're like a help factory. And you come, and it's like buying it's like a menu of options. Like whatever you perhaps need, you can get that, order that, and then you can help it in it. And then you go on about your merry way. And we weren't connecting people. And I had to rethink this because I'd assumed this. I just assumed this would happen, and it didn't. I assumed that when you extended yourself to others, it would build some kind of connection. And it didn't. We realized we had to get really, really intentional about this. And what we've come to understand, this is why we talk about belonging, that the purpose of help is not relief of circumstances. The purpose of help, the point of help is something else. The point of helping
Ready,
another
5.
person, the point of extending yourself to another person is always connection. I'm going to explain this in just
Take
a minute.
5.
It's always connection. It's connection in order to bring someone into something. That we're helping people in a particular
Ready, 2.
direction, in a particular way.
Take 2.
The goal is not just to fix
All right,
someone's
Andrew, will you push back in?
problems,
And
but instead help
Jarrett, will you pull
requires
out
us to
wide?
build trust and to incite a kind of willingness
Ready,
to
1.
belong and therein to become.
Take 1.
We are not formed and shaped apart from one another. It's just
You want
not
to take
gonna
3,
happen.
Terry?
If you try to do this on your
Yep.
own, or even with sort of a
Ready, 3.
isolated tribe,
Take
echo
3.
chamber of people who think
1
like
and
you,
3 are
live
live.
like you will not be formed into the image that God intends for you to be. You will often end up growing cynical and skeptical of everyone else that isn't like
And we're back on clean
We'll
feed.
never learn how to live outside of this kingdom.
All right,
that's
Jarrett,
ruled
you
by
can
darkness,
reset.
And instead transfer into another way of life. Being helpful is not about solving problems, but it's a posture in which we are to live in. We often reduce it to a kind of a fix. I need help, and I'm going to get it fixed. But it reminds us, right, that we have to see differently. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5, it says this. The
Ready, three?
purposes
Sorry,
of
ready,
a
five?
person's heart
Take 5.
are deep waters. That is a nice way of saying you are complicated and high maintenance. That's what it means. The thing that resides in every single one of us is deep waters. But it is the one
Ready,
who
6.
has insight or understanding that does what? That draws it out. There are relationships
Take
that
6.
I have that people who just see things in me and draw it out of me. I'm very fortunate that I married someone like that. We were talking about this last night. I always tell her, I said, Julie, if it weren't for you, I'm afraid that I might be a train wreck. No pressure on her, right? But it's not like that. And I
Ready,
want
1.
I want to be careful as I explain this.
Take 1.
But there's something about the way we learn how to relate to one another that actually does something in us, that pulls something out of us. It's not the pressure to perform. Most people in our culture live in these performance-based relationships. That what you're always trying to extract is performance out of another person. So you always feel pressure and you always feel like you have to prove, and that sort of becomes the narrative or the way
Ready,
in which
5.
a lot of our relationships operate. A lot of
Hold that
us
thought.
have grown up, or some of us have grown up in those kinds of conditions where it's always
Ready,
about
5.
proving. And there's a whole other way for us to live, right? When he talks about this, that we walk in a manner worthy
Take 5.
of the calling that the Lord has given to us, and we bear fruit in every good work, and we know him. And we do this in a way that actually begins to form us and shape us into some ways. What a
Ready,
posture
1.
is to say, to look at someone and say, how can I bring something out of you, some purpose that God has for you? You have
Take
to
1.
see them differently. What I have found, and this is, we were talking about this a few months ago. Rick Schaefer came off. We've been doing a deep dive in like the culture and the DNA of Port City Church. 25 years, we're just trying to understand who we are, who we've become. And so Rick said, Mike, Rick's one of our pastors. He said, Mike, what is the promise
Ready,
that
6.
we make to people who interact with us? And like, it didn't take me a second.
Take 6.
I'm like, the promise is that we want to be helpful. We want to be helpful. And this isn't just helping. This is a posture by which we learn
Jarrett,
to be
tilt
helpful,
down a little
to try
again and push
develop
in a little.
sense of insight and understanding and work to really understand what is happening
go.
in someone's
Ready,
life,
3.
in someone's heart, in order to be helpful to them. And this is different than just fixing problems.
Take 3.
Right? We do large benevolent ministry. Whatever somebody comes in and they're in financial trouble or financially struggling with things, and the situations are as varied as the people who come in there. When someone comes in and is like, can you help me pay my light bill? What their immediate need is to pay their light bill. And of
Ready,
course you
2.
can do that, but that's not always the most helpful thing. Or that's not always the complete posture of being helpful.
Take
Because
2.
what you don't want, when someone needs those kinds of things, there's usually other things that are happening. You get behind them to say, well, we want to pay your light bill. We don't want to be paying your light bill every month. We got to figure out how to be helpful so that we actually do something. And what we're always doing is we're always trying to incite trust, to build trust and incite belonging. It's always a posture. It's always a relational posture in this. And so the reason this is because if we think about this, I believe, and this is just my fundamental conviction, I believe that every single person, every human being I meet has been made
Eddie,
by
do you have room to
God,
push in more?
and they've been made for God. So whenever I'm like, I don't feel like I'm trying to convince anybody of anything because I'm always working, every longing that they're asking for is in some way to find this reconnection or return to the kind of person that God has actually created them to be. So you're always working
Ready, 1.
with that. In fact, 1,700 years ago, St. Augustine
Take one.
wrote these words in his Confessions.
Ready,
and he
three.
says this, and this is kind of written in the Old
Take
English.
three.
But he says, thou, he's talking about God, has formed us to thyself, and our hearts are restless until what? They find their rest in him. Right? This is why we talk about walking with God. We want to help people be returned to the relationship from which their purpose will actually emerge. Right? Outside of that, it's all, wrestling and chasing and all those things.
Ready, 6.
And so,
Hand over a little
here's what I
more.
mean. Here's what
Thank you.
happens to us.
Take 6.
And I sort of think about this, so there's two ways for
Ready,
us to think about
5. Maybe.
There's
Ready, 3.
Of course you have to meet immediate, like please hear me, like when you have to meet
Never mind.
immediate needs. Don't get me wrong. There's places
Staying on
and
6
ways
for
that
now.
you work and you solve and you address immediate problems and felt needs, and you do all those things, don't get me wrong. But what I've found is that a lot of people, they come in and they want to identify the problem, and then they want a solution. And one of the things I think we have to really break our thinking is that a lot of
Ready, 3.
our default thinking
Take 3.
is that if we can just solve whatever problem is happening,
All right, Addie, will you
then
pull out wide
everything will be
so that
fine.
Terry can take a shot online if he gets
How
an
many
opportunity
guys
to?
have been doing that for decades?
Wide as the lens will go.
And you realize,
There you go.
everything is
Don't worry
still
about the whole
not
wall. As long as we can
fine.
see the
Or-
text, you don't have to get the whole
or
wall
maybe
in there
things
because it's
aren't
kind of
solved and you
weird to
found
push
that
Mike
they're
too close to
still
the edge.
actually fine.
That works for me.
But there's something else that we're
Yeah, I'm gonna
looking
grab
for
that
or
quick.
noticing. And
Go
the way
for
we
it.
think about
Ready,
this
6,
is this
take
guy has
6.
2 frames that I want to use. Number one is what I call the problem solution frame.
So 3 and 6 are both
And it's
live.
basically we come in, we have a problem, kind of like vanilla ice. Like if there's a problem, I'll solve it.
I'm gonna come to 5. Ready, 5. Take 5.
And the way you do that,
I'm
is you
coming there
identify
too.
the problem, like you
5 is
try
live
to
everywhere.
identify, you diagnose it,
6 is clear.
and then you develop a sense of knowledge
I'm glad I went to
or
5. Somebody walked in
instruction
front of
or
3.
information. If I can just get enough information, if I can just get the right information, just get the right knowledge, I can get the right principles, the 3 steps, then if I execute on
Ready,
that
3.
knowledge, if I apply it
Take 3.
correctly, then I'll have a
Ready.
solution.
I don't want to go from 3 to 6.
This works great if you're trying to
Ready.
fix a dishwasher.
Ready, 5 again.
Not so much if it's your marriage.
Take 5.
We deal, obviously, with a lot of relational issues.
Ready, 6.
Business relationship, partnership relationships,
Push in just a little, Addie.
boyfriends, girlfriends.
I want to see Mike
marriages.
and the
People getting
stuff on the
married.
board or the wall, but
Now, coming to
I
this
also
is
want to
we
keep it
have
as tight
some
as we can.
problems in our relationship,
pretty
and
good.
What they're looking for is this
Ready,
exact
6.
thing. Can you tell me
Take 6.
what we need to do or what we need to know? Can you give me 3 steps or 3 principles? And then we'll apply that. If we apply it correctly, then we'll arrive at this place, and then everything will be fine. That's not how relationships work.
Ready, 5.
That's not how relationships work. Relationships
Take
do not
5.
work in a problem-solution realm. They depend
All right, Addie, you can
on
push in tight
something
again.
else. The problem with this, and some of you will experience this in your relationships, when you
Actually,
live
let me see
like
what's
this, or this
coming up.
becomes your solution, then the way you do this process right here is all about proving yourself,
Oh, he
and
can't
it's
right
about
down
what
there.
it is that you are going
Not with
to
that
do.
color. Ready, 3.
And
Take
what
3.
relationships need, and this is true when you're helping someone, right? And I'm gonna explain this, the most important thing you can do is to build trust. You know, I've said this before, but
Actually,
when I
Addie, let's have
my
you stay
oldest
wide
daughter
for
was born,
now.
she'll be 28.
I'm looking
She's
ahead,
29
and
this
I
year,
think we have a
20.
little time here. Maybe
8,
Terry can do
29,
another
29
wide
this
shot
year.
from your camera.
And,
I want to keep
it's so
5 and
weird.
3 available for in the room.
And
But we can
so,
do another wide
but I
shot from
remember when she
6.
was
You can go
young,
wide, like wide.
1
just
or
so it's
2,
just
2
for
and a half,
online.
whatever. I remember
Ready,
trying
1.
to figure out, like, what does she need from her
Take
dad?
1.
And I just
And
remember
then Terry,
very
if you
early
want to throw
on
6 in
going,
there
it's,
here soon, you can.
I remember this story very well because I thought, when she's 16, some chump dude is going to break her heart. And she's going to feel like she is worthless and that she doesn't matter. And I'm going to have to pick her hands up and her face up in my hands and say, baby, you are worthy and you are beautiful. And in that moment, she is going to have to believe me more than all the circumstances that she sees and feels. I remember thinking, she's got to trust me.
Ready, 5.
And if she's going to trust me at 16 to be able to do
Hold that thought.
she's got to start learning how to trust me
Ready,
at
5.
2 and 3 and 4. And what you realize is this, but this is the foundation of how relationships work.
Take 5.
They're built on trust. And here's the thing. You don't build trust in order to get credibility to say something to somebody. Some of you do this. I'm going to get trust, then I can tell them what they need to do, right? And it becomes a means, it becomes a transaction. It's not what trust is for. Trust allows you to enjoy the relationship.
Terry, you
That's
want to
what
throw in
it
a
does.
shot from 6?
It
Yep.
becomes the foundation for this.
Ready, 6.
So we have to do, this is
Take
what God
6.
in the world, what he is
5
doing
and
is
6 are live.
reconciling the world to himself. Shalom is fundamentally about relationships, how we are with God, how we are with one another, how we are with the world, the way we relate to the world around us, the way things are supposed to work. And you see this when we looked in the original passage. When we looked at this, he says we
Ready,
are
1.
to share in this inheritance of the saints in the kingdom of the light.
Take
It's a
1.
rule and it's a way of life. He says in there that we have transferred us from one domain into the other, in whom we have, anybody remember the word?
Ready, 3. Ready, 5.
What's the word?
Take 5.
We've been transferred into the kingdom of his beloved Son, in whom we have redemption.
Coming to clean feed.
This has been the game changer
All right, 6 is clear.
for me in terms of how I approach everything. Because I used to think if we could solve your problems, then we'll be fine. But it's not about that at all. It's about the redemption of all things. And this works very differently. The purposes of a man's or a person's heart are deep
Ready,
waters,
3.
and it requires other people to pull those things out.
Take
for
3.
something. And so this is what happens. And the threat of this, the challenge to this, is we have default patterns. If you've lived any length of time, you have learned how to be effective in getting your way.
Ready, 1.
More than likely. Some of you have learned, right, that you can use force or anger or power because you're strong. Some of you have learned that you can pout and get your way.
Take 1.
Some of you have learned that you can make people feel you. There's all kinds. Some of you are looking at each other like, that's you. You do this. But we think, though, if it's like the problem, we'll just fix it. You don't, because you've learned this. You've learned to operate like this because there's a rule and a reign in which we are living in. And so we have to move out of this into another place. And we
Jarrett,
think,
let's give
we
Terry
fall into
another
this, we
wide shot
think,
from you.
How am I
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I was going to come to 6. But that's good.
And we have
Ready,
to
3.
think relationally.
Take 3.
How are we connected in this? And it's a very different way of doing this. And so here's
Ready, 5.
how I think this works. Because in
Maybe
order
not.
for us,
I'm staying
right,
on 1.
to do this,
I'm back on clean feed.
Okay.
Three's clear.
intention is always redemption.
I was going to be ready
And
to jump to
redemption
5
is
if you
always relational.
did something with the wall.
It is always, always, always relational. This is why I think the church has
Addy,
the
you can
unique
push in tight
opportunity
again,
over
too.
every government solution and every other solution that's
Thank you.
offered because they're trying to solve problems. And we get to operate in a fundamentally different economy of redemption, but it requires relationship. In the areas of learned distrust and disbelief, which there
Pan
are
to the
many.
right more, Addy.
Anybody
6.
in this room, in the sound of my voice,
Take 6.
right? If you have issues of trust,
Katie, I'm going to
or
get you in
belief,
here again.
more than likely, it is
Trying to
learned
figure out my
distrust,
patterns here
learned
and figure out
distrust.
how to-
It is learned disbeliefs.
How to get to you.
And in that economy, solutions will always and only be temporary because they're
Because your
only
shot
gonna
is
be
so
as
similar to
strong
5
as
and
your
6, I have to be
willingness
careful of what
that
order I
this will
take
hold.
things in.
And so the work for us to be helpful is to connect and to build trust that establishes a sense that
Ready,
you could
3.
actually belong and be worthy of belonging.
Take 3.
That you could be with us in here and that your part matters.
Ready,
and that you're
2.
worthy is to walk in a manner worthy of the calling that God has given to us.
Take 2.
That you could belong, that you could contribute, that what you do would matter, and then you have to have a desire to do so. And this is the result of discipleship. That's how I knew we were ineffective in the early days. So people were just using this as a commodity. We weren't connecting. And so here's how this works. And this is almost always the approach that I take.
Ready, 3.
You have to first see something
Take 3.
in somebody that perhaps is not readily seeable, or people don't believe about themselves or don't know about themselves. So they've been made by God and they've been made for God. That you have to just see people that way. Image bearing, worthy, possessing dignity and value and worth. I mean, that's so easy because people just always like instinctively act like that, don't they? And sometimes you have to like mine for this because a lot of people don't believe
Ready,
about
2
themselves.
again.
Do you know how many people live
Take 2.
with a sense that no one sees them or believes in them or values them? And when that happens over, especially
Ready,
if it happens
5.
early on, or it happens in various pockets in our communities,
Take 5.
in our world, it becomes the belief system that they have. This is just how things are. And it takes a ton of work in those places. The reason a lot of people come in living in sort of the impoverished places they are and needing the help
Ready,
is because
1.
they don't fundamentally believe that things will be any different. And that's
Take
the
1.
work you have to do. That involves trust building. And so what this is well, I think this is the first thing you have
Ready,
to
3.
do
Take 3.
is to build a connection. If you want to be helpful, you've got to learn how to connect with people. You got to ask questions. You got to get curious. And then you build trust. Now here's the kicker. And this
Ready,
is just
5.
why I think our walks matter. We'll talk more about this next week.
Take 5.
But if you're going to invite people to trust you, you need to be trustworthy. There's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. There are plenty of people who will use you and take advantage.
Ready, 1.
But we've just got to be a kind of people who see this differently.
Take 1.
And I take this as seriously as I take anything else. You can see them on our staff. There are very few things. I used to have a really bad temper. It's tamed a whole lot. Very few things will make me angry when someone tries to leverage trust or influence to take advantage of someone. Because we've worked too hard for too long to try to make sure we're going to live in a manner worthy of the calling that God has given to us. And that's our posture, because we believe that in order for this to be effective, we have to learn how to trust. And this is a lost value in our culture. But it is out of this that you begin
Ready, 5.
to build a sense
Take 5.
of vision of redemption that doesn't always require that everything gets solved, but rather it allows something else to happen. Y'all, make no mistake about it. This work requires God's power and his work. And this is not human effort. This is not strategic in terms of if you do this, then these 7 things will happen. Some of the redemptive work that God is doing, we won't see anytime soon. And this is why he says you have to be strengthened with the power of his might for what? For all steadfastness and patience, to see and to keep seeing, to believe. How many of you guys have ever just almost chucked your faith? You're like, it's like faith is hard.
Ready, 6.
Nobody, just me? You
Take
need
6.
people to help
Stole
you
my shot
believe
again.
Oh, sorry.
when you believe in yourself.
That's fine.
You need people to
I still
help
got
you
it.
stay
It's
with
because
you.
you gave it to me.
You
It's
probably
easy to
could take
quit
a
or
wide
leave.
shot right now.
You need people to help you trust when the
I'm just
whole
gonna
world
take
seems
that one
turned
from
on you. You need
3,
people
I
to
believe.
help you live and
Ready,
hold
3.
fast
Take
to
3.
integrity when there's a lot of shortcuts that make things easier or more available. You gotta have people. We've got to be together in this for this kind of work because of what God longs to do.
I'm gonna come to
It's
Katie
the
on 2.
trust. When you learn how to live
Ready, 2.
in this
Take
cycle
2.
right here, what you'll find
Ready, 3. Take 3.
is that this work isn't about proving yourselves. This work is about something being formed in us.
And I'm on clean
And this
feed.
is far
Katie, you're
more
clear.
dependent upon the kind of person that we become rather than the things that we do. You'll see this in some of you when you have relationship problems. This is exactly
Ready,
why.
5.
Because someone has proven, like they've proven that they can do the principles they were asked to do. But you don't trust that it's going to stick.
Take 5.
And the depth or the hold or the longevity of that solution is only dependent on your capacity to trust. And when you learn how to do this, you say, this is who that person has become, and I am learning to trust that. That's the
Ready, 1.
only foundation upon which redemption is actually possible. And this is true in every relational sphere that we are entrusted to.
Take 1.
Civics, economics, all of them, this is the foundation. And this is why what Jesus came to do is to transfer us from one kingdom into another so that this becomes possible. That's what we're helping people do.
Ready, 5.
That's what we're helping people
Take
do.
5.
We must, you and I, cultivate a kind of compassion. I'm sorry, I'm almost done. That allows us to see this is not easy work. We need God's Spirit forming us, to form God's heart in each of us so it frees us from the patterns that we're so accustomed to.
Terry, let's do one more wider
That
one from
frees
3 where
us
we
to
can
offer
see
ourselves,
people in the room.
Okay.
to reach people,
Yeah, I'll go to 1 and then
and to help them
Jarrett,
walk
go ahead and
out.
pull out. You can bring the screens in. Ready, 1.
To walk in a manner
Take
that
1.
bears God's image with integrity. And in his
I'm going to hang on just a sec so it's not such
Sure.
a quick shot.
your faith elicits
good call.
his smile. Our
Okay,
faith
ready, 3.
elicits his faith.
And take 3.
Bringing
1 and
beauty
3 are live.
nourishment to others. Everything that we do, everything that we offer
Addie,
to
will
the
you
world,
pen
the work of
right a
our
little
hands,
bit
our
more?
minds,
Push the drawing out.
everything.
There we go.
faithfully demonstrating and bringing the influence of his love, refusing to give in or give up,
And we're back on clean
refusing to
feed.
be
3, you're
cynical
clear.
or futile, but staying in to share.
Jarrett, you can reset,
The
and
beauty
Andrew,
of
you
this
can come out as wide as your lens will
extraordinary
allow.
inheritance.
And
For he's rescued
Terry,
us
feel free to throw that one in at
from
some
the way of
point too.
darkness and despair
Okay.
Ready, 6.
and death, and he has brought us into a
Take
way
6.
of life under the rule
Hopefully he's going to pray pretty soon because Laura Lynn's still got to come out.
I know, right?
And the debrief meeting starts in 7 minutes.
Of our influence. And that's why we have to be
And then
helpful.
I might actually take 5 the way it is if he starts praying.
Father,
Ready, 5. Let's wait
I
and
could
see
go
if they
on.
change the
This
graphic.
is,
I don't know when they're going to change it.
so I'm just going to ask.
Yeah, I
if
know.
you would help us
I'm
to
waiting
see
for the splash. There it is.
people
Ready,
around us
5.
every day
Take 5.
made by you and for you, looking and searching and hoping and longing. Some of those people are us at various times in our lives, or maybe even now. So would you use
Ready, 1.
our community,
Take 1.
this community, to be helpful to that end? There's
For
certain
picking
things
up
we can
Laura
do
Lynn,
to provide
Katie.
relief and aid and tangible help. Would we be quick to do that? But would you give us eyes to see beyond? To help people cultivate the kind of relationship
I'm going to
through
hold on
which their
mic
lives can find
every second I can here
meaning and the purpose.
so that Leland, when they're
you
dissolving
intended
away
on.
from us, doesn't get a
So I
cut in
ask
the middle
you
of
to
it.
do that. I ask you to help us.
Ready,
Help others do that.
6.
Help one another
maybe?
do that.
Let's
I
do
pray all
3.
this in the name
Ready,
of your
3.
Son, Jesus, who is our King.
And hold.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
thank
right,
you.
take
Hello.
3.
Hey, thank you so much. And thank you for being here this morning. Just some
Ready,
reminders. If you
1.
need information on Love Thy Neighbor. The
Take
rotunda
1.
where the big map is, you can find our mobilization team there. If we can connect with you in any way, Connect Center right on the other side of this wall. We also have Parent Connect this morning, so if you've got young kids and want to meet some other parents down in the loading docks. And if we can pray for you, we would love to do that right down here at the front. All these options. So have
Ready,
a great
black
weekend.
and preview.
Great to be with you this morning.
dissolve,
Right, and go for walkouts.
and roll the slides. Kieran, yep, you got it. And let's hit the Sunday macro so we don't forget. Good job, good job. See y'all for breakfast.